Good morning, I'm Samir, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to Sensassure. 2 years ago, my co-founders and I decided that we wanted to make an impact on the aging care sector. We said, huge emerging need with an aging population, but not a whole lot of innovation happening in the space. Now, as a bunch of 20-year-old guys, we didn't know much beyond that, and so to understand the market better, we did what you'd expect. We took a Dodge Caravan and drove it over 4,000 miles across 9 different states through 2 snowstorms, just knocking on doors of different nursing home operators as well as home care agencies. Now, of course, this wasn't enough, and so for the past 12 months, we've been physically living, and yes, I said living, out of 3 different nursing homes across North America to really understand what's going on. We have experienced firsthand the myriad of issues in this space, yet decided to tackle the most prevalent problem in long-term care today, and that is urinary incontinence, or involuntary urination, which affects over 50% of residents and accounts for $6.4 billion in annual direct costs to the US sector. To understand why this is such an issue, I want to introduce you to Margie. Margie's an 85-year-old female with a moderate degree of dementia who suffers from urinary incontinence. What this means is that sometimes Margie knows when she needs to go to the toilet, but most often she ends up voiding into a brief. Now, the issue with managing Margie's incontinence today is that nursing staff also don't know when she's urinated, so they go around and check and change her every 2 hours, which creates one of 2 problems. The first being, you check and change her unnecessarily. Now, can you imagine waking up Margie unnecessarily only to find that she's dry? Or secondly, not checking and changing her often enough, which can result in her lying there in a wet brief for hours upon end, potentially resulting in skin breakdown, pressure ulcers, and a host of other clinical complications, not to mention a huge loss of dignity. Now, we've been working with residents just like Margie for the past 12 months to come up with a tailored and dignified solution to this problem, and that's Dolores and Christine, by the way. I'm thrilled to introduce you to Tally. It's a comprehensive, sensor-based solution to managing urinary incontinence. It involves a sensor that detects moisture within a brief and wirelessly communicates this information to caregivers so that they know who's wet, who's dry, and can change the people when they need to be. It consists of a reusable sensor strip that slides into a protective sleeve which attaches to the outside of any commercially available incontinence product. Vis-a-vis our competitors, we've got 2 key competitors in the market right now who have created fully integrated brief solutions with the sensors embedded within. What this means is that every time you're throwing away one of their briefs, you're throwing away very expensive sensor components. Because our technology allows us to be reusable, we can economically offer continuous monitoring, which is something none of them can do. Now, in our most recent pilot study with Revera, Canada's leading senior living provider, we were able to demonstrate a 73% reduction in time spent in a wet brief and an 81% reduction in unnecessary sleep interruptions. As a result of this pilot, Revera became our first major customer, validating a price point of just under $1 per resident per day, which extrapolated across the North American and European markets represents a $2.5 billion annual recurring revenue market opportunity. Now, we've been working hard over the past few months here at Highway 1 to develop the next iteration of our product, which we'll be trialing across an entire nursing home site next month. We aspire to get to market in the next 12 months. Our vision for Tally extends beyond just incontinence management. For a limited marginal cost, we can add additional sensor functionality to tackle other issues in this space, such as location tracking for wandering, fall detection, and even turn monitoring to prevent pressure ulcers. What's really exciting about all this is when you put it together, what you've got is continuous insight into a resident's health condition that we've never had before, which will allow us to more effectively monitor and intervene to truly deliver the best quality of care possible. And we believe we're the team to do it. I'm CEO with a background in finance, quickly realized I didn't want to be an investment banker while working at Morgan Stanley. Tim, our CTO, leads our technical development efforts with a background in aerospace engineering, and Jeremy leads our clinical development efforts with a background working at numerous genomic companies. Now, I'd just like to conclude by saying that I'm very proud of the progress that we've been able to make. We have built and validated a product that is going to transform the lives of our elderly, And I think it's fair to say that we've got the resilience and passion required to make this vision a reality. So thank you very much.